everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to my wrap-up for Bout of Books 13. So as those of you who follow me on Twitter will already know, Bout of Books was incredibly successful for me. I had really great success with my TBR, so I'm going to take you through it. So I'm not going to talk too much about the books themselves because I will be doing actual wrap-up videos for the different Book Riot Quarterly Boxes that these came in. Remember, I actually do wrap-up videos for those, or at least I've done one, but it was so long ago, I'm sure we've all forgotten the fact that I actually do wrap-ups of those. But I will be doing wrap-ups now for the box number 4 and number 5, and we'll talk about my thoughts about those a little bit more in depth then. But this will be a general run-through of how my week went. So the first book that I'm going to show is something that wasn't in a Book Riot Quarterly Box. It's something that I didn't quite get finished before the Read-A-Thon started, so the first thing that I completed during the Read-A-Thon was this book, and that was the last 61 pages of Indie by Sherwood Smith. This is the book that I was recommended by Sam from Novels and Nonsense, of course, for my BookTube Recommends project. And of course, Sam is also doing the Indie Club read-along of the books in this series at the moment. This was the book for April, and I've only just finished it in May, but now I'm kind of back on track, or at least I will be when I start book 2. But anyway, so I finished this one. I really enjoyed it. Again, there will be an actual wrap-up review video for this one for my BookTube Recommends project, so I'm not going to talk too much about it here either, but really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens next. But I didn't immediately move on to the second book in the series because I wanted to do my TBR for Bout of Books. Next up on day 1, I picked up What We See When We Read by Peter Munison, and I was able to read the first 320 pages of this. As I mentioned, this is just kind of small sections of text and pictures. It's a beautifully designed book. I will talk about this more when I do my Book Riot Quarterly Box number 4 wrap-up. But it's a wonderfully designed book. It's kind of a large expanded essay that's been set out so wonderfully. And then my audiobook at the moment is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have an hour commute, kind of half an hour each way for work, so I listened to an hour of this on day 1. On day 2, I read the final 105 pages of What We See When We Read, and as I said, really enjoyed this, and we'll talk more about it soon. Alongside What We See When We Read, I also read Well-Read Women by Samantha Hahn, and this is watercolour portraits of different literary ladies. And I copied reading these together from Holly at Library Theories of the World. She did a fantastic video where she talked about this one, and she read these side by side as well, and I will link that video down in the description. The art in this is absolutely stunning. There are a lot of these that I am familiar with, and then there are a lot of books that I haven't read, and then there's a quote from each book, and solely on those quotes I'm definitely really looking forward to reading some of the books in here that I haven't read yet. I really need to get on them soon because the quotes and the pictures just make me want to pick them up right now. And so it doesn't really count as page count really, but I read 112 pages of this. Once I finished those two, I then moved on to The Salinger Contract by Adam Langer, and I read the first 30 pages of this one on day 2. And then there was my usual hour of American Gods on audio. On day 3, I read another 150 pages of The Salinger Contract, and another hour of American Gods on audiobook. On day 4, I finished the last 90 pages of The Salinger Contract, and this was a lot of fun actually. I didn't know quite what to expect from it going in. I didn't really know all that much about it. It's a bit of a mystery, so there's not too much in the blurb either, but I found it actually to be quite a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And then started Maps and Legends by Michael Chabon on ebook, and I read 16% of that, so that was approximately 36 pages. And there was the usual 1 hour of American Gods on audio. On day 5, I read another 17% of Maps and Legends, so about 38 pages. I also started Mr. Fox by Helen Oyemi and read the first 72 pages. And for the last time, there was an hour of American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Then we got to the weekend where I thought I would get a lot of reading done, and I got a little bit sidetracked on the Saturday because, as those of you, again, who follow me on Twitter will already know, and for those who've watched the 6th installment of my bookshelf tour, I got some new bookshelves. I got 4 new bookshelves, and they were set up on Saturday, so I started filling some of the shelves, so I got a little bit sidetracked bringing books out of storage and kind of arranging them on the shelving, and I'll pop some progress photos up at the end of the video to show you what it's looking like. I'm definitely not finished yet, but I will keep rearranging and I will show you a little bit more in depth when I'm happy with them. So that sidetracked me slightly, but I still got some good reading done. So I read a further 27% of Maps and Legends, which was about 61 pages, and I read another 129 pages of Mr. Fox. And then on day 7, I read the last 40% of Maps and Legends, which is about 90 pages. This one was a collection of essays kind of on reading and writing, and some personal ones or some somewhat personal ones, and it was an interesting collection. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed some essays more than others. And once I finished this one, I had finished everything from the 4th Book Riot Quarterly Box. So, as I mentioned, stay tuned for my wrap up of the box and a bit more of my thoughts about this one, hopefully soon. I also read the last 140 pages of Mr. Fox, and this one is definitely bizarre. I've heard really mixed things about this one and this author, but something about it just clicked for me, and I don't know whether it was the timing or it's just right up my alley. I don't know. I did find it very bizarre, and I'm kind of still processing it, but something about this really clicked, and I really, really loved it. And that left me with one thing to go, and that was Ms. Marvel Volume 1 No Normal, and of course I was able to finish this in the afternoon, and this one comes in 120 pages. This one, of course, has been very big on BookTube, and I'm really pleased to have finally got to it. I did really enjoy it. I wasn't totally blown away, but I really enjoyed it, and again, more on my thoughts soon. So this means I was able to complete 6 books during Bout of Books, and I made progress on 2 others, and my final page count was 1,537 plus the 5 hours American Gods, which was about the 157 pages, for a grand total of 1,694 pages read during the week. So I had a lot of support through the week. I had a very dedicated reading buddy who was there through thick and thin, as you will have realised from the many pictures I added to Twitter of my progress, featuring a certain little cat. Every time I came to take a photo of the book that I was starting next, she was right there, so I started including her, and it just kept going, and she was there for all of it. So these are all the books that I worked on during the week of Bout of Books, as well as the ebook of Maps and Legends. I'm incredibly happy with this. I'm so pleased to finally be able to say that I've read these books, the things that have been sitting there waiting for me to read for way too long, and I feel great. So my objective in participating in the Read-A-Thon has been achieved, and so if you participated in Bout of Books, let me know how you did down in the comments, and if you've read any of these books or have any questions, do let me know. I'd love to talk about them. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!